This is Zach from Zach and Wyatt, and this is my 1991 Subaru Legacy. I love this car. I've had it for 2 years now, and I just kind of love everything about it. It's gone through some iterations. What I was trying to do first was autocross. So first thing I did was put sway bars on it, obviously. So the sway bars did help quite a bit, and then I got some WRX suspension and 2013 WRX front brakes, thanks to Chris. When it was an autocross car, it had ProDrive P1s, which are awesome wheels. I really like them. They're made by OZ. I'm kind of obsessed with ProDrive. I have the steering wheel and I put it in my Corvette. But yeah, so that's when it was all autocrossy. Once I got the Corvette though, I was like, you know what? I don't need a shitty on-road car and a good on-road car. So I made this one off-road. So I got some Forester suspension. I got it off of like Facebook Marketplace. I had these wheels from before. They were given to me by a friend, Christian. I love these wheels so much. They're really good. They're Hostel H88s. And from what I've heard, they are one of one. So if I bend one of these, I am screwed. But they're pretty gnarly wheels. When I was getting the shitty tires mounted on them, the guy ripped a couple sidewalls. The front bead is just so big. If you get the back stuck, it's not fun to get off. So I have some ripped tires. Yeah, it's got KC highlights from a customer of mine who is an engineer at KC. I would like to thank him very much. They are amazing. They just work really, really well. I got the rally pigs as usual. You have to have the rally pigs. It's got a EJ22 motor, which some say is the most reliable Subaru motor. It's kind of more the turbo one that's more reliable. It's a closed deck. This one's open deck. It's just kind of the workhorse. Not much power, but I really like it. The chassis code on this is BJ63, which I think is cool. So like whenever you hear people say like GD, STI, or stuff like that, that's what they're talking about. I just love this car. It's got a really cool gas filler neck thing. I just love that. It's just like, it looks so big and kind of race car-ish, but it's not even a race car. It's one of those things. The interior is nice and clean. I put the stock wheel back on it. And then I have Sparco 4-point harnesses. Are not exactly for safety. They're kind of more for just being in the car, and I don't really want to change the seats just because I kind of like the way it looks and the way it feels and just kind of everything 90s about it. Yeah, I have hood pins from a somewhat unfortunate incident of me jumping it a little high. So needed hood pins after that. It bent the hood a little bit, but she's a trooper. She'll be totally fine. The roof scoop, I've got a decent story behind that. We went to a friend of ours' meet in Santa Clarita. What? And we asked them to bring an angle grinder, and we just kind of threw it in that night. So it was down at car meet. I really like that. I got the car for $500, and it's the best $500 I've ever spent. The transmission wasn't exactly working. First gear, kinda. Second gear, grinded a lot. Third gear you had to hold because it would just pop out. Fourth gear was absolutely gone. I replaced the transmission with another friend of mine called Chris. There's 3 Chris's. There's brakes Chris, there is wheels Chris, and there's, I guess, transmission Chris. Even though wheels Chris is tranny Chris. Never mind. So it's got a transmission and rear diff from a 95, like Impreza Outback type of thing. So it lowered the final drive a little bit. It was 4.1. I think it's 3.9 now. I'm not sure. I don't know those numbers. The whole car is plasti dipped. I like it that way. It's really great. It used to be several different types of silver, which just bugged the shit out of me. I would rather have an all-around looking bad car than 2 brand new panels and the rest are shot. So, yeah, I plasti dipped it. Relatively recently, I put the duct tape on it, and that's just kind of a tribute, I guess, to the Ari Vatanen and Colin McRae days in Legacy Rally. Yeah, it's got strut bars. So it's got a front strut bar and a rear strut bar. There's so many people that say you don't feel the difference or you have to get a really good one to feel it. These ones are both eBay. They were like 20 bucks a piece. Actually, they were Amazon. I might put links in the description. I don't know. But yeah, they work really well. I could feel it. It might just be because this chassis is a bit of a wet noodle. But I definitely felt it, especially with the harder suspension from the WRX stuff. The whole car, you could still feel it twist and do a bunch of funky stuff, and then the doors kind of tweak and stuff when you go over some off-road. Yeah, I love this car to death. It is amazing. I'm never going to regret buying this, no matter what happens. It's my favorite. I did bumper holes, which is always something I wanted to do. And I kind of have some people that are jealous. Not jealous exactly, but a little jealous. Like when I talk to STI people, they talk about doing stuff to their car and they do it and it's nice and tasteful. But this car is a no rules anything. I could do whatever I want. So there's some people that talk about doing intakes through the bumper. I could do that. It's just kind of great. I don't have to worry about replacing anything or things being expensive. I could just drill 5 holes. I think they're 4 inches in diameter, maybe 3.5, in the back of the bumper and not give a fuck. And it's amazing. This car is really just a not give a fuck car. I love it to death though. So I've become a little bit too attached to it now. I said I've had it for 2 years and I don't really want to do stuff that's stupid anymore. I mean, like jumping crazy or doing some type of derby race or the Gambler. I don't think I'm going to do the Gambler. Might get another car for the Gambler. I'm not sure. But as is, I just really, really love this car. It's just amazing. It's never had any issues. I mean, it drinks oil a lot. It's just about every 10 to 15 gallons it takes 1 quart of oil. But yeah, she stops. It doesn't have ABS. It's supposed to, but it doesn't work. But I don't really care because I learned how to drive while locking up, and I feel like it's been useful. Yeah. So the interior. There is an auxiliary plug, and nobody believes me when I say that. They think that's just a new thing, but that's been going on forever. People used to plug their Walkmans into this very car. Amazing. It's also got another funny button that I thought was kind of interesting. The stop eject button says stop EJ, and I always thought it would be funny to put a kill switch in there because the motor's an EJ. So I think I might do that. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking. But yeah, this is my love. It's got no AC. I took it all out. It didn't have a belt on when I bought it, and it didn't have anything in it. So I just ripped everything out. Not really caring. It's got mud flaps of all different assortments. The front ones are from a Forester that I owned, and the rear ones are from a 2013 Impreza that we had as well. And they're just kind of zip tied on. Zip ties are great. Yeah, zip ties are basically holding this car together. Go.